To say the least, Courtney, as we welcome Karen Smith, Executive Director of the Sexual Assault Center of Edmonton. Karen, a lot of people, including us here on the show yesterday, talking about this poster campaign that's been going around Edmonton. There was the one successful campaign put out there saying, don't be that guy, telling guys just because she's too drunk to say no doesn't mean she's saying yes. Well, a men's group has responded with a satirical "don't be that girl" campaign. Just because you're too drunk to remember or just because you regret a one-night stand doesn't mean it wasn't consensual. A lot of people are saying that this type of tongue-in-cheek attitude is insensitive, inappropriate, and perpetuates rape culture. When we talk about rape culture, what does that mean?
It means in general society that we almost think it's okay to have sexual contact with somebody that wasn't wanted, that it's okay to make fun of it, we make jokes about it, we have movies that glamorize it. It's making it seem that it's okay to have this kind of contact, and it's not.
There was a recent Microsoft gaming convention where a man and a woman were playing video games against each other, and there was a video captured of the language that the man was using to the woman, talking about how he was owning her in a sense in the context of the video game, but a lot of people were upset about that phraseology. The same point, saying this is another example of how rape culture perpetuates itself. In your context as Executive Director of the Sexual Assault Center of Edmonton, do you see this type of thing almost ignorantly perpetuated on a daily basis?
Yeah, because we see people come in, broken souls, who have been sexually assaulted, perhaps recently, perhaps many years ago, and they almost think that it's their fault for being sexually assaulted because they didn't follow some kind of a rule that society set out for them, especially for women, but we do see men and women. But especially women coming in and thinking, you know, maybe my skirt was too short, I brought this on, maybe my top was too revealing, maybe I had too much to drink, I didn't lock my doors, that somehow I'm responsible for this.
This is this sort of victim blaming that we hear about. There are two specific numbers I want to talk to you about. One of them, a staggering statistic just released by the Canadian Women's Foundation that says 1 in 5 Canadians, 20% of us, think a woman encourages sexual assault when she's drunk.
Yeah, I mean, if you're passed out drunk, how can you encourage sexual assault? I mean, you're not able to give consent. In Canada, there has to be not just a no means no for there not to be sex. There has to be an enthusiastic yes by all participants in the sexual activity for it to be consensual.
We look at one of the biggest news stories. I mean, look at the Steubenville rape trial involving those 4 teens, and of course the tragic story of how that's impacted the victim, the girl there. That brings me to the second statistic I want to ask you about, and that is that 90%, it's estimated that 90% of sexual assaults go unreported.
That's right.
Why is this?
Well, and I think if we're talking about people who have got these rules in their head. They've been raised from the time they were little people that, you know, you must do this or you mustn't do that. And when you are sexually assaulted, then you play these rules over in your head and you think, oh, I'm responsible because I had too much to drink, or I'm responsible because I didn't lock my doors last night. This is my fault. And so that's why people don't report, because they're thinking that it's somehow they're to blame for this.
I would imagine that it's fair to say that if there were to be a call to action, so to speak, for general society, it would be that we need to stop perpetuating this rape culture, stop with the insensitive language, stop with the jokes, talk about how people need to come forward. But what about people that may be watching right now that have been victimized? What about someone that's been a victim of sexual assault but is afraid of what it would do to their reputation or what people might think about them? They might be afraid people would doubt the story if they were to come forward. What's your advice to these people?
Well, I would certainly advise them to get some help, whether it's to talk to someone that they trust in their lives, maybe a parent, maybe a coworker, maybe a teacher, a clergy person, or certainly to call the Sexual Assault Center. You have
a 24-hour crisis line, don't you?
We do.
Okay. We are going to post that information on our website. As a matter of fact, it's up there right now under the Inside BT link. This is an issue of great importance. 90% of assaults going unreported, 20% of Canadians thinking a woman brings it upon herself. Karen, thank you for being here with us as this issue is forefront right now, right here in Edmonton, and of course across Canada. Goes without saying. We're back with news, traffic, and weather right after this at 6:28 Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us here on BT.